today. This is the most prestigious individual player award that a person can receive. And for all the storied careers that these gentlemen on the stage have had and their storied careers, you see Hall of Famers up here. I think they would all admit that their efforts off the field and the recognition of this award is just as important to them as anything that they've received in the past. So let me begin by mentioning by name each of the former winners and the year in which they won. At first, over there on the far side, we have Dave Winfield, Hall of Famer, won in 1994. One of the greatest Dodgers of all time, Steve Garvey, 1981 was it. Of course, a distinguished MLB career and voice of MLB Network, 1991 winner, Harold Reynolds. Of course, Hall of Famer and over 600 career home runs, 2002 winner, Jim Thome. And our very own, close to our heart here with the Mets, member of the 2015 Mets pennant-winning team, the 2016 winner, Curtis Granderson. And of course, another Met, another storied pitching career, as consistent a lefty as the Mets have ever had, would be the 2000 winner, Al Leiter. And last but of course not least, the renowned career that he had with Toronto and the Mets, 2006 winner, Carlos Delgado. And of course, we want to introduce, there in the middle is Luis Clemente, son of the great Roberto Clemente, and it has been 50 years since your father's humanitarian mission to Nicaragua that took him far too soon from all of us. And I would just like to begin this press conference, appropriately enough, with you by asking you what the celebration of your father's great legacy just means to the entire family. So, Luis, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It is a great privilege to be here in Field today. The whole Clemente family is here, my brothers, my nephews, nieces, sons, and their grandchildren. And it is a very special energy today of all the other Roberto Clemente days. This one in particular, I can't even explain, what it means to be amongst the recipients of the award. This first reunion, it's something so incredibly fabulous to us because it's the 50th anniversary year, and we just found out it's the 21st Clemente Day celebration. So all the efforts that Major League Baseball have put together to honor our father's legacy, and the way that you continue to see how the players, what this means and represents to them. We've been able to see today some of you meeting probably for the first time because there were different eras where you were playing, but certainly there's something very, very extremely special about today, and we're very proud and honored and thank MLB for all they're doing to honor our legacy that we will continue. And now the new generations, like my niece right here, she sends me a picture. I would like to show, if possible, the baseball. Raisalí Clemente is Ricky's daughter, and she sends me a picture of this baseball that she painted, and she asked me, "Uncle, you think they will be willing to allow this to be the first pitch ball?" And immediately I sent it to April Brown. I said, "April, you think there's a possibility that this could happen?" For my surprise, when I landed, I had that email saying, "Luis, bring the baseball. It has been approved." So this is Roberto III is the new generation of Clementes, and this the fifth Clemente, but it's the third because it's the direct line of Roberto Jr. So we're very honored, and thank you. It's very special, guys, to be sitting here with all of you and with my brothers. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Luis. Let me make a special mention to some other guests here. leaders of MLB Communications Department. You got Matt Bourne and Stephen Orocho there in the corner. Welcome, gentlemen. April Brown, who is a leader in the community efforts with MLB, and as well as Josh Rowish, the president of our National Baseball Hall of Fame. So I think we're going to have mics on each side. We'd like to allow everybody to ask questions they may have for our panel. There are so many stories to tell. There are so many ways in which all these gentlemen have obviously affected their communities. That's why they're up here today and why they're being recognized with this great award. So with that, please raise your hand and we'll hand over a mic and let you ask your question. Jerry, we'll start with you.
I guess for Luis, how long have you guys been working on this reunion, and kind of how did it come together, and what's it been like organizing with everybody here and getting to know these guys and bringing them all together?
Well, certainly, MLB, we've been discussing, this possibility for some time, but as a surprise, it was very fitting. It's the 50th anniversary year, so it made all the sense of the world, right, to have this happen now, and we're totally, ecstatic about it.
Who's next? We've got, yes sir, in the middle there.
Julio César Pérez, el chino de la máquina deportiva y las 5 esquinas, para Carlos Delgado y Luis Clemente. Carlos y Luis, le he hecho esta pregunta en un programa especial que hemos estado haciendo sobre el día de hoy a varios de los entrevistados. Y al nosotros ver que en el día de hoy, pues, en todos los estadios de las grandes ligas están celebrando el día de Roberto Clemente, ¿creen ustedes que realmente, definitivamente, después de tanta lucha, esto puede ser un paso para que el número 21 definitivamente sea retirado?
Saludos, gracias por la pregunta. Yo hoy y siempre he dicho que el número de Clemente debe ser retirado. Honrar la memoria de Clemente en todos los estadios de grandes ligas y tener ese número en esa pared del outfit, yo creo que va a promover una conversación muy importante, especialmente para las generaciones más jóvenes, que cuando el niño, el joven vaya al parque y vaya con su papá o con su abuelo, con su tío, y puede decir, mire, ¿por qué el 21 está ahí? Pues dice, mira, ese es Roberto Clemente, un gran pelotero, pero un mejor ser humano, que dio su vida por ayudar a los otros, y que se reconozca los valores, ¿verdad? Y la personalidad de Clemente, para que se perpetúe en el juego del béisbol y en nuestra sociedad que tanto nos hace falta.
Thank you, Carlos. I think it would be a treat for everybody to just, let's go down the line and let each of you express a sentiment, an anecdote on what winning this award has meant to you over the years. And I think, Al, let's start with you, please.
Okay. I think over the years, if you pay attention and you know what this award means and represents, I know every player that's sitting here and other players understand that this is a significant award because it represents what players do off the field, in addition to on the field. But it really represents in the community and charitable endeavors. And as somebody who never won a Cy Young Award, I cherish this honor. I knew what it represented as a young player, even just knowing the names, because I remember periodically looking at what every year, and now what Major League Baseball has done to make the award significant with making it a special day. Willie Mays and Al Kaline and Brooks Robinson and Willie Stargell, on and on and on. You realize that, but I always thought in my time as a player understanding about giving back, I always thought it was weird. It was always unusual to be awarded something or recognized because we were just doing something that we knew what was right. And I know everybody at some level feels the same thing. I'm honored. This trophy is prominently displayed, and every year I can't be more proud. And knowing the Clemente family and what you guys have done to honor your father, it's everlasting, really is.
Thank you, Al. Carlos?
I feel like Al, the only thing is like, I always said that you do the right thing not to be recognized, but if you're gonna be recognized by the Roberto Clemente Award. And in 2006 that happened, and that's why it became the most important trophy that I have in my house, because it's not just a trophy. Growing up in Puerto Rico, ever since you're a little kid, you start to understand how great he was. And somebody asked me today if I can put it in perspective, and the best way I can come up with is like 50 years later, we're talking about it like it was today. I think that legacy continues to grow, and I don't know if that doesn't put it in perspective, I don't know what does. So it is a tremendous honor. I'm super excited just because baseball is recognizing the history of Clemente, and having the opportunity to be sitting here with these great players that done so much for the game on and off the field. So it's hard to put it into words. As a Puerto Rican kid growing up, you say, we're going to the Roberto Clemente Arena, or we're going to the Roberto Clemente Ballpark, or you're going to the Roberto Clemente Street. So ever since, such stories, Clemente, passed away in a plane crash in December 31st, 1972. So it's super important, and I couldn't be any happier today.
Thank you, Carlos. Randy?
This award means so much to me in more ways than one. I think the part that we were touching on and everyone remembers is we didn't just get here by accident. There's a community and a family that helped raise us and build us and be with us along the way. And the Clemente family is a prime example of it by seeing everybody here in attendance. And little Clemente is going to be throwing out the first pitch today. So you see how he is in that position all based off of you as the family, Puerto Rico as the country, Pittsburgh as the city he played in, all that brought to him. So Clemente's looking at it going, hey, all right, you all helped me. This is my way to be able to help out, not only there, but places like Nicaragua and beyond. That's the way I've always looked at it and tried to mirror myself after it, and I'm honored to be recognized in that position, because I'm not here if it's not for the community. And now I'm in a position to be able to give back to the community and be recognized for it. Like you said, and to be with this great group of talented individuals, the hearts are huge, and just to be mentioned in the same breath is just an honor and a privilege.
Thank you, Curtis. Jim?
First of all, I'm very honored to be here. Your father, Mr. Clemente, left such a legacy for all of us. And, the kindness, his generosity, what he did for the community is so special. That's what makes today, when I was invited a month ago to come here, I was so excited because of your father, but because of you guys. And now we form this great fraternity because of him. And what he's done is he's left such this lasting legacy for all of us to enjoy. My son is going to be 15 years old. He now, because of Major League Baseball, because of what you guys have done, now he can Google and go, I want to know about Roberto Clemente, and that's what's really cool about this. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Steve?
A couple of thoughts. I was in the Dominican Republic the night that your father took that fateful mission. And when the word got out that it had gone down, I thought to myself, as a relatively young person, what your father did was truly the ultimate sacrifice, and a sacrifice of trying to help others. And I said to myself, I'm going to figure out how I can make a difference also. And it takes time. I mean, God bless us to be able to play this great game of baseball and to reach the ultimate level. And in 1981, two things happened. And one was on the field. We won the World Championship. Myself as the first baseman for the Los Angeles Dodgers, finally beat the dreaded Yankees. They upset us in 77, 78. And the other thing was to receive the Roberto Clemente Award. So I had achieved two goals, and one was to win a world championship. If you play a team sport, the world championship is the ultimate achievement. And the other was to begin to define myself in terms of how I could help others in a variety of different ways. And a lot of times the things we do are personal. It may be our families, it may be something as close to, I had prostate cancer 6 years ago, and now I'm chairman of Fans for the Cure, which is a prostate cancer foundation here. And the third thought is semantically. Our family philosophy is life is God's gift to us, and what we do with it is our gift to Him. And for the men you see up here, and for the others who received the award, and many, many more throughout baseball and probably other sports, you know how we tell our children, you don't get it. Well, these men got it, and others have gotten that our way to get back is by helping others, by making a difference in people's lives, and continuing to do this throughout our lives ourselves, because we have been so blessed.
Thank you, Steve. Harold?
We were standing in line today when we were figuring out how we're walking out on the field, and we were like, Winfield, 95? What? Is he still playing? Well, now they lost in 81. I know why he didn't win it in 81. It went to Steve instead of Dave. They won. No, this is the greatest award you can receive as a baseball player. Flat out. There's no other way to look at it. Exemplifies what you do on the field, off the field, the impact we have, the platform we have to impact lives. And that's why this award is so powerful and so important. You know, I'm old enough to have seen Roberto play. Saw his 3,000th hit. Went crazy. I was a 12-year-old. That's when you're into baseball, right? And I still didn't understand when his plane passed away. And I played winter ball in Puerto Rico in 1985. And I got the full impact of Roberto Clemente. If you go to Puerto Rico, like Carlos was talking about, they may as well rename the whole island, because everything's about Roberto. But you start to learn the story of the man. And then years later to receive this honor in his name, really understood the fullness of it. You know, we sit on the arms of others that come before us, and, you know, Curtis was talking about family. It's so true. But as a kid, I'm sitting there with my hero on my right, and Steve Garvey. I had my swing like him in high school. That was my guy, man, Steve Garvey. If you grew up at that time, he was the guy. And on the left was my favorite person in the world. That was Dave Winfield, who played with my older brother in San Diego. And I remember as a 13-year-old out on the field in San Diego shagging, and I look up in the right field pavilion and it said, Winfield Pavilion. I'm like, what the heck is that? Dave was buying food, taking care of kids, bringing them to the ballpark, and he had this foundation he started long before players were known for doing that type of stuff. And I said, man, I want to be like Dave Winfield when I get older. So it's kind of cool to sit here today between these two guys who won the Roberto Clemente Award, because they exemplify what it means. Excellence on and off the field is what this award's about. And I'm very grateful. It's one of the greatest honors I've ever had in my life.
Thank you, Harold. Dave?
Thank you, Harold. Thank you, everybody. There's a lot I could say, but I'm not going to take a lot of time. It's a wonderful time to be here with all of these guys I played with, against, teammates, been mentor. Hopefully I've influenced them a little bit or whatever. But let me just say a couple of things. I came in the league in '73. I knew who Roberto Clemente was, and I was going to be a right fielder, so I watched the way he charged that ball, picked it up, threw people out. I wish I would have been able to play so we could test each other's arms. But he was an incredible player, and even a more incredible human being, is what you find out. The things that he was doing for other people, I didn't know a lot about him before he passed. But I know it had to be in here, it had to be in here. It was part of his life, it's part of his soul to do for others. And I knew that when I started playing professional baseball, we had a platform to reach a lot of people. I used to see the young kids follow us and listen to what we had to say. It was like we were Pied Pipers, you know? You're playing that flute, everybody's following you. So I was always looking for ways to do things for the underserved, the people who didn't have a chance. And I'll tell you, quite honestly, a couple of things. It helped me play better. I used to play better. I knew we had a program coming up. If I was hitting 205, man, they ain't gonna listen to me. So you always play well, and I just shared that enthusiasm with so many of the people. And I'll tell you, I played a long time, won a lot of awards, accomplished a lot, but it was getting late in my career. I finished in 95. In 94, opportunity came around, they nominated me, and then I won the award. I said, yeah! Before I go, man, that's one of the things that I wanted to do, is win this Roberto Clemente Award, because it would just acknowledge, some of the work that had been done throughout my career. So that was a very special honor to me. So, and again, I'm sorry, unfortunately, I didn't meet your dad. I missed him by a year, and but his legacy continues, and we're all part of that. This is a great group of people, and I'm honored to have won the award at some point. Thank you.
Please, Luis. I want to recognize also the presence here of Jorge Perez Diaz, who's our appointed direct contact with Commissioner Manfred, and for all that is being able to take place. And the MLB family, we always say we were born part of MLB, and Commissioner Manfred, Pat Kearney, I had a chance to speak with a little earlier, April, which this year came on board as well as part of the team. We've been, since we were little kids, around royalty as well, and that's why, for what you have spoken, our memories of every single Roberto Clemente day, of the excitement that you have shown and spoken to us about, what it means. You were not able to sleep the night before. You were so excited. Your parents, your wives tell us, oh, you don't know what it represents, for all of them, for each one of you. And that's why it's so special. The energy is totally different this year. So thanks again, everyone.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you to the entire Clemente family for being here. It's very special for us to be hosting this eventful day here at Citi Field. And gentlemen, thank you all for all that you do, all that who you inspire, and for what you continue to do. So thank you, everybody. Let's pause. We're going to have you all stand up and take a quick photo here.